Now to see if they can actually that Secret are able to pull something out.
Better get ready.
We are going to go ahead and hop in game in just a second, but as the draft said, Secret's lineup is very straightforward. You want to go for the push, you want to just get those towers down as fast as humanly possible, and if Secret can do that, I think the LGD are going to be in a very interesting situation. But the Winter Wyvern last pick, it really makes me think that it offers good deep push. You're going to eventually get Mirana eggs. You have Ember with Sleight of Fist. They're going to have phenomenal wave clear and really good ways of taking fights. So if they can manage to survive, I think LGD could potentially take this as well.
Okay, so obviously listening from the draft panel that seems to have this overwhelming feel that the Secret had the stronger draft, you would say maybe fair enough.
Well, their draft is stronger.
Stages, or?
It's stronger in the sense that they have a very simple game plan, and the draft is easy to execute, which is what the panel said. But LGD, if they can take it to the late game and the Ember gets a lot of farm, they just have so much deep push. And
30 seconds
really
to showtime.
That's another problem. Like, there's no Oracle, there's no, Coddle with an Aghanims, there's no Dazzle, there's nothing to really keep the push going. So once those heroes start getting items, you're just going to eventually get whittled down and be unable to continue the push.
Here we have it, ladies and gentlemen, as it all begins to kick off. But I mean, we've talked about, obviously, in terms of draft, how OCD can deal with the push and obviously how strong the push Secret are going to have. But in the earlier stages, in the lanes,
the game is on.
Wanting to shut down the other early on. Is there any way to take this into a very one-sided match?
I think it has a lot to do with how LGD decides to lane, and it looks like we will be seeing the Juggernaut mid. It'll just end up being an aggressive Ember in the safe lane. So if the Kunkka and the Mirana goes mid to shoot an arrow or something like that, and they land it, yeah, they can definitely get a kill. But I think Ember would have been a lot easier in getting reliable kills on Artor and the Alchemist. It really wanted to shut it down, but that's really the name of the game, right? Like, shut down the cores of Secret as much as you can. Because between the Terrorblade and the Alchemist, one of the two, I guess Secret's game plan is that they're going to be able to get some level of items on them, and then just overwhelm with just sheer farm.
You can see him in the middle lane already, getting a fair bit of harassment down onto Arthur. But lane aggressive, playing around with Boulder. And do a good job of harassing back as we have this 2-on-2 lane up at the moment on the top. And then again, just constant torrent spams being used on Arteezy. Make sure that maybe we can get the farm at the start that we need. See how well Arthur is able to deal with it. You see, for the time being, this Alk is going to be left alone. So Arteezy can obviously be any better. Indeed, it's amazing. Moving aggressively.
Last of my kind, but first in this.
Keep going no matter what. Don't give up halfway, his mum told him, and he certainly went the full whole hog there.
My god, that blade dance point, that is some serious value if I've ever seen it. That's gotta be so frustrating as well. Like, you're getting 2v1s, you get like first hit crit after the spin under the tower, and you know that, like you already mentioned, there's not really going to be any support rotations that are going to be helping you out during the early game, so curious to see what Secret's response to this is going to be.
I mean, in terms of obviously the way that the mid lane's going down, are we looking at the side of Secret saying, well, at least the other side lanes are going good for them? Or is that not necessarily the case?
Well, obviously Envy is going to be having an okay time. Like, he fought meta just to force that way back a little bit more here. A little bit of a fight over the rune. Banana gets it. Nicely done.
Unable to stop Puka from getting his hands on it. High. And you just make sure that Arteezy is able to head down. Grab the bounty, couple of points and previous at the moment, so the bonus is going to be well received. You can see, as you said, Envy's getting farm, but at the same time, when you look towards the mid jug, he's actually on parallel with farm at the safe lane. Terrorblade, so maybe certainly having the start that you'd need to have in a best of one situation against a side as Team Secret. Absolutely fantastic start at the moment for Jug. Top lane, the safe lane for LGD, certainly being slowed down a little bit more on the respective side, as aggressive is having a lot more pressure put onto him, but he's still 9 for 2, 10 for 2. The CS is there, and he's got the backup of MMY as well, so it certainly feels this is going to be a little bit hard for Bulber and Puffy to get a kill on aggressive, with this Wyvern consistently in place for the saves to be there.
I feel like it's actually harder for Secret to kill LGD safe than it is for the reverse to happen. They're going to try to go for Puppy though immediately. Good response. This is kind of what I was saying. When you pop the Arctic Burn, you're just taking a huge amount of damage, even if you only get one auto. And then if aggressive hits you with Searing Chains and a little bit of the Flame Guard damage, you already have to back.
Dire's bottom tower's getting the business.
So they're very good at efficiently trading in this lane on LGD.
You can see down bottom, realizing that Envy, he's got the space, he's got the start that he needs. That guy's going to leave the lane, he's now come towards the mid to make sure that Arteezy's got the backup. He needs in case maybe goes in aggressive again. So CS-wise, 22 for 7 against the 13 for 0. This Jug certainly having the favourable time at the moment in the mid. Top lane, Banana. Eventually, Miser is on the ball, but the X-Marks are set up. Let's turn on to Banana. Damage isn't going to quite be enough. Puppy's trying to chase him down, but Bulba looks to be the one to pull this engagement of LGD. From aggressive, they're going to get down. And LGD, they get themselves another double kill for MMY. 4 minutes in already, the lane's looking to go very
Radiant's toughened up their structures.
And this is exactly what they want as well. Just shutting down the lanes as
Radiant's
hard as they can.
top tower's in bad shape.
Forced into buying the Iron Talons for the stage because his lane phase has been more or less a struggle. And as we already mentioned, it's just so much easier for LG to get kills with the heroes during the early game. Secret really do have 2 defensive postured supports. Just Avenge Sun is not going to be enough in order to get a kill. It might pressure, but that's not really, it's not enough at this point.
Cheesy, of course, is going to have these stacks to help catch up Farmer maybe, and it's going to get to the point as well where they've got to be very careful in the middle. They're just about to hit 6 in the Jug. Won't have the only stacks ready for the next fight. So you've got to be very careful how close they come to the Jug and how much they poke him. Top lane, Volva has been left alone once again. Puppy in a movement at the moment towards the mid. Maybe, but maybe! He just comes in and rips Puppy to shreds! Oh, 4-0, LGD is just playing games for Secret at the moment.
Evangelizing for my cause.
Gonna be able to get himself away from the DD Jug. Maybe 2 kills, 36 CS. This is a fantastic start for the mid Jug.
I mean, everyone at LGD is just doing well. Even, you know, you look at Zhao 8 on bottom lane, he's level 5, he's still got 20 CS. That's the same CS as Artor has right now, on an off-lane Morano. And a lot of that's just due to the fact that Secret supports have been having to rotate around to address the issues in other lanes. So LGD are making the proper moves.
Banana
for Envy.
Close the gap here, the booster speed for the Zhao 8, trying to get a range of the X-Mark, and he's got it! Yes! The damage will do it, they get an arrow. Applies there with the defensive disruption, and LGD, they won't get away with a kill down here on the bottom lane this time.
My pet thanks you.
Still, I mean, if you're Secret, obviously a bit of a shaky start, and maybe even it's not going to stop. Maybe this bad. Getting all the moves in the world.
Somebody's on a roll. How about that?
Killing spree for maybe. Mummy's proud. This is. You can hear the chants.
He's going completely ham this game.
Oh my goodness.
The ward obviously paying dividends there. They saw him doing the creep camp, and I don't know if the
Radiant's top tower's hurting.
So I'm not entirely sure why he didn't back sooner, because I think he would have seen the Juggernaut coming, but a little bit unfortunate there, the Beastmaster dropping. Maybe just has no fear right now, just aggressively walking forward.
30 seconds, and Slash is going to be at the ready again, so another potential free kill. If Secret comes too close, it's easy just trying to move in for the farm, but maybe being able to get the first hit crit every time onto this out. I'm sure that Artor can't find the farm that he needs. RTZ obviously with the stacks is starting to catch back up. Working towards that armor builder, of course, as well on the Alchemist, but you can see net worth maybe comfortably.
Dire's mid tower won't last much longer. Radiant's bottom tower ain't a pretty sight right now.
I think first and foremost, like Sam needs his level 6, and once that happens,
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
Really a reliable thing. You make sure you have the cold embrace, but I'm pretty sure you can still clear that if you're Secret. And
Radiant's bottom tower seen better days.
These cores are just going to need some room. I mean, sure, the Alchemist is starting to recover now. He's been getting some jungle creeps. He's back to 42 CS.
Radiant's bottom tower ain't a pretty sight right now.
Only Slash at the ready. Maybe in Banana.
There goes Radiant's bottom tower.
Oh, he's got to hope that he can get out. Gonna hope for some backup. There is backup in Secret, so it looks like they won't move in for the kill. But still, positions like that as they should be aggressive. Jumping in aggressively with the Renners. MMY trying to close the gap as well onto Puppy. Still continue to chase down, but now got the catch. Puppy's going to be fine this time. LGD with the last couple of plays, unable to find the catch that they're looking for. Banana.
Radiant's bottom tower seen better days.
Maybe he's got to be careful. There's a hell of a lot of players for Secret here. He's got an invis. Again, maybe gets a DD, a H3,
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
Be, pulling runes out his backside.
mean, if they split up, he's just waiting for them to separate. He can go for a kill. Envy has a mango.
Envy and Puppy, they've got a
Battle Fury! That's 4 in a row. How about that?
Dominating streak. It just doesn't get any better at the moment. He has got an Omni. We'll see how he plays his way out of this one. He's just going to run a healing ward down. There's the roar. Maybe. The Fury continues to move back. Banana is there.
They're not going to get it.
He gets himself out.
Radiant's top tower is taking hits.
I mean, this whole game at the
Have
moment
fun
is just
trying
a
to
highlight
bust down
for Maybe.
Radiant structures now.
He's honestly playing out of his mind. And
Radiant's
in
top
this situation,
tower
when
is
you're
in bad
Juggernaut,
shape.
There's so many opportunities for you to go for these aggressive plays because the supports just don't do it. It's like, sure, you have this defensive save, you can stop the CP, but if you don't have a follow-up stun, just even having Roar wasn't enough because nobody deals damage. Like, the meta was already down from killing the Ancient stack. There was just nothing to follow up.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
And meanwhile, Xiao, you know, off-lane Mirana, he's racking up the farm, he's getting all the space to put pressure onto it too as well.
They forgot he existed in this game. They're worried about the Juggernaut 24/7
Radiant's
because maybe
bottom
just on their
tower
side
ain't
of the
pretty
map,
sad
find
right now.
Invis double damage.
Losing it.
Radiant lost one of them bottom towers.
Losing map control, losing game control at the moment against LGD. No, aggressive. You want that bounty rune, son? You're not getting it.
Yeah, taking bounty rune away from Alchemist is really big. A huge influx of gold for him that he now does not have access to. Looks like 3 members of LGD. They are just hungry right now for blood.
And I like this as well from Maybe. He did stick to the reactive part. So we saw in that last instance where they put the disruption through, but after that he dropped the healing ward, he runs away. I mean, good luck chasing this man down now.
Yeah, it's a pretty standard opening.
Radiant's mid towers get banged up.
I think his options are pretty open this game. With already having the mass amount of push, he may just opt for the more aggressive choice.
Radiant's top tower is taking hits.
He's setting up the try for something here. Make it back up.
Radiant's mid towers get disowned. Radiant's top tower's hurting away. How about that?
That's not going to save him though. LGD finished through the kill. 7 kills in at the moment as Secret to be able to get a taste for blood himself.
Radiant's mid tower could use eyes in a row. How about that?
Mega kill streak. It just doesn't stop for the Jug.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
An absolute clinic being
Radiant structures must have been fortified.
So far in the early game have been successful. I mean, you could probably attribute a lot of the
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
Maybe was getting, but that's what happens when you actually control them. That's the thing you do that Secret had this game. There was only like I think it was, what, 1 rune that Secret actually got? The Arcane Rune, the Invis, the DD, and the Haste that maybe got back to back. All of those runes pretty much resulted in this. That is not okay if you're Secret. Like, you need to stop LGD from getting on your side of the map. You need to stop them from getting these constant kills, slow the pace down, and try to get some farm on your heroes before you just get overwhelmed.
We'll take that!
That's all. Finally just gave himself the bounty ring. He was high up, but not quite close enough to close the gap. You can already see a movement from Secret, sending 4 heroes up towards the top lane. Pi and Envy smoked up, ready for a play. I mean, getting a kill, or at least transitioning this move into taking a tier 1, maybe even putting some pressure on
the Dire might want to mine their top tower.
Send the Hawk over with a confined behind lines. Indeed, MMY's there at the moment. A scan from LGD will confirm suspicions that Secret are there. Getting ready to push into position, and LGD, they're heading over.
Dire's top tower's getting beat down.
Aggressive. He's got a TP available if he wants to join the fight as well. Let's see how LGD kick this off.
The Dire went and fortified their structures.
The fight first, so a good start for Secret. Himself a kill. While we go for the TP out, he's not going to make it. That's aggressive. Chain of Xiao Tower. So they end up finding a trade. LGD losing a support, taking a core. We're fine with that, and LGD do hold the tower.
I would say in the grand scheme of things, that trade is probably okay just because Arteezy is able to farm during this downtime.
Radiant's top tower is taking hits.
So
Dire's mid tower could use a little help.
I don't think that Secret are going to be able to kill this tower, though. I would expect LG to defend this given how far ahead they are.
Radiant's top tower is hurting.
Down here, so I'm not sure if they can even deal enough damage at the time in the first place to get him.
Dire's mid tower's having technical difficulties. Radiant's top tower's in bad shape.
They're taking tier 1s, tier 2s from both the top and bottom lane. Just
Dire's mid tower could use a little help.
Secret.
The Radiant lost the top tower.
It just can't be stopped, and I guess this is something that we expected when you see Secret with a lineup such as the Out and the Terrorblade. At this point of the game, if the enemy starts to step up the heat, there's not a lot you can do to slow it down.
That's why I was kind of talking about the damage output.
Yes!
Straight away with an arrow, another kill.
You had no place here.
This is getting very, very messy for Secret. And on a podium where they needed to perform, they need to step it up. But 14 minutes in, falling behind. RTZ, he is still top of the net worth, but only just. And it's certainly not the lead above that you hope to have as an Alchemist at this stage of the game.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
Finish the job off in the mid lane, take that final tier 2 away from the side of Secret.
Radiant's gone and fortified their structures. Radiant's mid tower is a
Up on the
hand.
high ground, no one's being able to get anything done on the side.
The scary thing after this for Secret is just
Radiant's mid tower's
talk about
getting what
LGD being able to
for.
push out lanes very well once they start to get items. Well, they're going to get all the item progression, they've taken all your towers, and they're also going to get Roshan. Like, Secret contesting that pit is going to be so difficult when they're this far behind. They need their cores to have more items before they start going for these fights, and LGD just aren't giving them any breathing room. They're just getting slowly asphyxiated and just losing engagement after engagement. They've got one kill. 15-minute game.
I mean, obviously with all the outer nodes gone, I mean, let's talk high ground defense for Secret. Is it even that good holding a base against the push of LGD?
I think it's actually a little bit difficult for LGD to go high ground at such an early stage, but their lineup is very good at controlling the map. You know, we talk about lane shove and stuff like that, and what it really means is that Secret are going to be so busy killing creeps that are outside of their base that they won't really have time to do anything else. So what happens is you just lose control of your jungle, all the lanes are pushing constantly, and LGD farms all 3 lanes and the woods and has Roshan control for an extended period of time. And usually that just means that Secret will fall too far behind in terms of golden experience because ultimately lose because they can't keep up with items. That's probably the way that LGD go about this. Now sure, there's always a factor where you can get a pick-off and go for Rosh, or get a pick-off and go for base. It's always possible. Thing for Secret right now, it's just desperation trying to find farm.
And this smoke as well, 3 of them coming out. They can find maybe on the Juggernaut, that'd be absolutely huge. The question is if they're actually going to be able to have the damage to finish him off.
It was the last of my kind.
That is a big kill. Pretty
Certainly,
much.
they're going to need a few more of those.
Yeah.
But that is a way to kick it off.
And they do have the Radiance now on the Alchemist. All things considered, this is still a pretty decent timing. LGD, Mirana ulti looking for something. What a torrent!
The torrent from Banana. Can't quite find Puppy. Really position with the wave of terror. This one's a shower. Down the pole. No! The second Secret. Bulber and Effie looking towards aggressive, but he remnants away. LGD happy with the 2 kills and now getting themselves out, but unable to punish them. Secret losing the 2 support. Oh, no. Oh, he drunk his rum, but he drunk too much. He was absolutely off the edge there. He was pissed out his mind, that man. He thought he could get away and he couldn't. What a madman.
He wasn't walking in the straight line.
He was
say that
definitely
much.
drunk.
Yeah.
Too much,
It happens
too much rum.
sometimes, you know.
No.
You forget how much damage you actually take with the buff on, and then you're like, oh,
I'm invincible.
To a better place.
It does happen to the best of us, but LGD is still in a pretty good position. Blink now picked up on the Winter Wyvern, so his positioning in team fights, you know, you get a good curse, and you're playing against like Beastmaster and Terrorblade, you just annihilate anybody.
Dire's mid tower's having technical
another thing that
difficulties.
Secret are going to have to be very, very concerned about. And as the game kind of stretches on, the Beastmaster Roar, that's like one of their main forms of initiation. You can have that Cold Embrace, and it just stops so much of the incoming damage, because Alchemist and Terrorblade, a lot of it is physical.
Yeah, it really is a lot. Kind of similar to the series we saw this morning. It is going to be relying on the TB damage output. Obviously for TNC it worked wonders, but indeed they didn't have the same heroes that
We'll take
Secret
that.
got to deal with in terms of stopping the damage output of the Terrorblade. Now, 18 minutes in, Xiao 8. Aghanim is done on the Mirana. Very, very scary iron trick that's coming out from the side of LGD. LGD with the smoke movement, they're ready to react.
Dire's top tower, you know the drill. Can't do nothing about Dire's structures right now.
Stick around for this and they're straight out of there.
Shadows take us.
Avoiding
Dire's top tower's gone.
Secret will still get the tower done with the Necro units.
You know, slowly but surely, Secret are clawing their way back into this. Yeah, LGD are still ahead. They haven't managed to secure Roshan. Secret are starting to get a little bit of the map back in their control. You know, they're forcing LGD to move around a bit. It's a sign of life that Secret desperately needs.
LGD or Secret. Moment just keeping together as a team. In case any rotation comes around from the side of LGD. We can see obviously with the Alchemists, RTZ furiously pushing the lanes out, making it a lot harder for LGD to get away with these movements over Secret side of the map.
Oh, this could be big.
Dire's mid tower won't last much longer. Radiant's top tower's in bad shape. Dire's mid tower's having technical difficulties. Roshan coming, and the Radiant done the deed.
Take the Roshan, get RTZ the Aegis.
That was such a good move.
Highlight with the intentional plays.
That is what you call tanking the gank in a big way. That was so important for Secret. LGD, they don't have the easiest team to go high ground with. You know, Ember is not really a tower hitter. Mirana with Aghanim is not really a tower hitter. Juggernaut does okay. But the problem is you're against this Terrorblade who can pop meta and hit you, and you have to push into Acid Spray and all these other illusions, and it's not easy for LGD to go for tier 3s, and without the use of an Aegis, it's even harder. That allows Secret to delay the game a bit. I mean, LGD are eventually going to have their battle periods out on the Juggernaut and the Embers, so there will eventually have to be this power spike where the cores are able to just shove lanes almost indefinitely, and that's always going to be a problem, but Secret's taking that objective.
That's all just scaring off Ember, aggressive. As you said, you know, both of course getting to battle for you. I mean, obviously with them now working towards the battle, once they've got that done, do you expect to see LGD just utilising that to continue to farm up, or do they still want to fight at this point? Are they waiting for any further items now to tackle Secret?
I think it's just keep the lanes pushed as hard as you can. Lane equilibrium is something that their lineup does very well. And against Secret, who don't really have great ways of initiating outside of just Beastmaster, I think it's a pretty good way to play the game, because then it becomes much more obvious what Secret are doing out on the map. But Secret, not wanting to give them an opportunity, they're only going to see the Alchemist right now. Everyone else under the guise of smoke. But did they? No, they didn't see the Hawk summon. The Hawk was summoned before the smoke, so they didn't see that pop out either. They have some kind of idea, though, that this is a bait.
With that T-board down, LGD, where there's some new fishes going on. You see Secret, they realised that the Twilight Dive bait was successful earlier. They're seeing if they can pull off the same strat, but LGD wants to fall for the same trick twice. Secret, though, with the lane pushing around, they are getting themselves in a position to top of the tier 2. Walk down. LGD well aware of what's going on this top lane. Secret, they might not be afraid to show their hand, to see how heavy they want to go in on this push.
Dire's top tower's getting beat down. Dire's structure's looking fortified.
I'll take that as tribute.
Moonlight Shadow for Xiao to help try and get in position. Very far in, and will connect. Let's see if they chase this down to half health. Just to tank it off, head back. So this is just the 3 here. Neither Judge, maybe, or Aggressive Ember is around. So the 3 of them, Xiao, MMY, and Banana, will be able to stop the push from Secret.
It's still okay situation here for Secret. Obviously they'd like a few more kills under their pocket, or maybe a little bit more map control for the time being. Just getting that Roshan, allowing Envy and RTZ to continue farming all this time. Quite a big deal for them to make sure that they're staying inside of the game. But as soon as it fades, I would assume that LGD are going to go for some kind of aggressive play. They want to re-establish complete control of the map. You can see their aggressive wards. They have an idea that obviously Secret are going to be farming their jungle. We'll see if they can get map control if they want.
Obviously this one, just still have the Aegis on RTZ.
Not so much. I think it's got like a minute 30 or a minute left right now.
And then once that's gone, do you imagine will it see Secret once again just playing it safe until they're able to get their hands on the next stages? So if you're Secret at this point, there's no point in trying to do anything too aggressive without the Aegis.
No, I think they want to continue to dodge fights. Their high ground is pretty good. It's making sure that LGD can't crack the base, not giving them any opportunities to get, somebody picked off on the side of Secret, and then LGD get an opportunity to go high ground.
The Dire might want to mine the top tower.
Arteezy is rather far in on his own. Box off cooldown in 5 seconds. Banana is going to spot him. See how he plays his way around this one.
Welcome back!
And the Winter Wyvern inbound. Arteezy not going to make it though. Wide. Cancelling the TP with his ultimate. Left alone. Come out for some farm, but the Aegis is down.
The Dire might want to mine the top tower.
Man head straight over there. Arteezy going to try and find himself sometimes with the man to the army at all. Down. Secret realizing that the out's a lost cause. And make sure there's no more casualties up top. But oh, hey,
Dire's got one last top tower.
Roman needs to pocket off terribly. It did cost them all.
Dire's mid tower could use a little
the best
help.
thing that could have happened. I thought the response was a bit strange. They were really far away. Night Shadow though.
Just not central. Make sure that they don't get caught off words. Right, indeed. Pushing forward. Well, remnanting in, looking for a kill. They found Firelight. Drop the demonic perch on a LGD take themselves another. Continues to keep themselves in this very, very strong position. So we can see MB at this point on the Terrorblade picks up a BKB, so we're paying a little bit more for these fights by the looks of the hand.
Radiant's mid towers get banged up. No breaking down the Radiant structures like this.
By Ember Spirit, Juggernaut Spin, just some Mirana damage as well with the Agonist Scepter. It could be a lot for a Terrorblade shield. It still does a ton of damage in meta, even without the use of like an additional item like Mana Style. So I think the itemization is just saying, if you try to go high ground, we're going to have the strongest defense possible, and we still farm at a pretty decent rate, even though LGD are doing the best they can to try to pressure in the situation. But again, it's a best of one, right? So you need to be prepared for the high ground push of LGD if they want to go in.
Absolutely, it's certainly a position in the game that's
gold from my chest.
As you said, LGD, and that they can take their time here, not too much pressure being felt at all. Especially when you continue to look at just comparisons like Farmer Xiao 8 compared to Volba. Fair gap at the moment between the Mirana and the Beastmaster. And certainly where the biggest gap lies so far amongst the team. Arteezy now beginning to get himself to be ahead. Maybe Juggernaut. Thanks to the Manta. He's picking up the farm on the Alchemist to a pace that Secret needs it to be. Arteezy stepping up to the first few blunders in mid lane early on.
He's getting there. The question is he getting there fast enough? Because I feel like already having, multiple Battle Furies out on LGD, I'm pretty sure that at some point, when push comes to shove, that during fights, the Alchemist just isn't really... He's not far ahead enough. We look at some of the previous games, you see almost double net worth right now, so I'm kind of concerned that if Secret delay the game too long just to make sure the Alchemist gets items, then both the Juggernaut and the Ember are going to have items. Even, Xiao Wei is going to have items. And then you're pretty much playing like 2 cores against 3 at that stage, and I'm not sure if Secret can afford to do that, so there needs to come a point where Secret are feeling confident enough to take a fight on their own terms and really get something big off the map and take something away from LGD.
GG. Went across again. Secret though, reading the situation very, very well. On the high ground. LGD unable to find anyone with this move. Eyes on Jai at the moment. As we keep saying, this man has had an incredible game. He's been given so much space. 3-0-5. Similar farm to that of his own safe lane. Aggressive Ember Spirit. This is very, very scary for Secret. They've really got a hold on. As you said, it's not necessarily enough to prolong the game because of the fact that LGD have these 2 Battle Fury farming cores. So in that sense, are you saying that Secret, they do need to look for fights?
They actually need to take a fight, but they need to take a fight when they have the proper items. I think that the way that NB itemizes is fine in this early stage.
Double damage empowers me.
Unfortunate stack to be taken away.
That's gonna happen.
And there's just so many things that are going well for LGD. Back to the beginning of the game and how much Maybe was dominating with his ridiculous rune RNG. And that just set the pace for LGD to completely take over during the early mid game.
And that was a DD rune. LGD, they are moving across as well. Xiao jumping forward with the arrow. Puppy! Oh, arrow to the face. The defensive disruption from Xiao moves in, takes him down. And he wants to down, maybe. Gotta be careful now. Got to back up. Envy looks to chase them down. Bit of an awkward Sunder there. Didn't really see too much. And now Xiao jumps straight back in. Aggressive hits the chains onto Envy. Another defensive disruption from Envy alive. MMY drops the over. We can see after this illusion. Beating down on Chen and Y. They'll lose the Wyvern with this fight. LGD just finding the 1-1 trade there. So Secret very happy to get out with minimal losses, keeping Envy alive in a situation where LGD threw down everything at him. Some big disruptions from Pi that time.
That certainly could have gone a heck of a lot worse. I'm pretty sure as soon as Envy sundered, LGD were like screaming to go in. Because he has no BKB, he has no sunder, and they had Blink on Xiao. So I'm actually surprised that LGD didn't commit to that a little bit harder. You even saw the Winter's Curse being used on him when the disruption ended because his own illusions are actually and Envy was at like, 10-15% health. Roshan's going to be up real soon. So LGD might not have wanted to take that risk and just, keep their established map control to make sure that when they go for Roshan, they're going to be able to get into that one position where you can actually go in and take a team fight.
And in terms of fighting around the Roshan pit, how good of tools does Secret have?
But realistically, engaging onto what LGD have is very difficult.
The prize is mine.
Hero composition. Like, they're more made for this siege lineup. The Parablade to hit buildings, but you're not really built for a Roshan fight. You can kill it very fast if the enemy team's not ready.
Bullseye.
Give the arrows to catch Pi. Go in there with no defensive disruptions. LGD backing off. It was just the two of them, the Kunkka and the Mirana, but it was in the neighborhood. They want to fall through onto Secret. But now picked up by Boulder, so they are going to have that bit of setup with the Blink Roar, but at the same time, you got to look at the fact, aggressive. He has got that Lincoln Sphere. Over on Xiao, he's pretty much got one gun as well, so if he needs two of the cores with Lincoln's up, that's going to put a bit of a spanner in the works for Boulder.
It's going to make it that much harder to fight Roshan as well. Secret, they realize how important Roshan is. They don't want to go back to their level map farm and allow LGD to just get to that Roshan pit uncontested. They want to try to take something away. If we're not going to fight around Rosh, we're
Dire's mid tower won't last much longer.
The other lane so you can walk up to our base. Doing everything they can to put themselves in a better position right now.
And as we can see,
Dire's mid tower is having technical difficulties.
Right towards the in the mid top lane, that's being kept shoved right up to the door of LGD.
Dire's mid tower won't last much longer.
Secret at the moment.
My way!
They're going to have to head over to Wood if they want to have a chance of contesting this, but already taken it down to half now. Four coming across the Secret.
Dire's mid tower can use a little help. No breaking through the Dire's structures for now. The Dire wasn't partial to that mid tower.
They're going to give it up. If we're at least able to clear the tier 2, which
Dire's top tower, you know the drill.
A little bit longer to make use of Smoke is going to be up just in time here, so it's going to be purchased by the Winter Wyvern, and I assume it's just a little bit. I want to use some kind of aggressive smoke just to force Secret back again and reestablish their map control.
And if you're LGD, how do you deal with this amount of kind of split push pressure that Secret are putting on? Is it a case of just grouping up as far as you're going, or do you yourself have to kind of split your resources across the lane and try and bring all lanes in tandem back over to Secret's half of the map at the same time?
I think for now, it's probably a little bit better to just split up the map if you're Secret, because fighting to the 5-man of LGD, if they have Aegis, is really tough. And LGD also have very good race for themselves. It's going to be this constant war between both of the teams, trying to make sure that they're keeping the lanes pushed in some regard. But as time goes on, it's going to get easier for LGD, because that Emperor is going to get more farm, he's going to get his damage range, probably after this Lincoln's, unless he feels like he needs to win. Yeah, he just goes crit instead. So he's going to start hitting real hard, real soon.
That's the thing as well. I mean, looking at LGD's lineup, they seem to have the kind of perfect balance of both physical burst and magical burst. You look towards the Mirana, even the Kunkka with his boat and the Torrent, and then obviously with the Jug, the Ember Spirit, they seem to have all fronts covered in terms of when it comes to taking down Secret's and Secret's course.
They have all their bases covered, and it makes it very difficult to itemize. Because when you have a good one item isn't just like super OP. LGD proving again they are one of the better teams here.
It's a pretty immaculate performance at the moment. GD already for the deeper. Maybe takes a fair bit of damage. The reason the Secret's sent out to hold back the side. But they have got the self-sustain thanks to the Judge Healing Ward. And TZ doing his best to just cut the creeps off. And make sure that OG aren't going to have the chance to bring a wave up to the high ground of Secret. Eventually that's certainly going to happen with LGD grouped up as they are around mid. Ready to put pressure on, ready to try and make the most they can out of it. Aegis on maybe at the moment.
Bullseye.
I mean, they can get some chip damage on the tier 3.
Bit of an arrow magnet. And it seems this game. Now this is moving, gets some damage on the tier 3. Secret. The response is Shivas coming out from Artor. LGD will scatter.
Even if they don't necessarily do a ton of damage each push, they will eventually get the tower, and then the Rex thing is going to get
Juggernaut!
2 minutes left now. But want to at least get the tower before the Aegis fades, which should be pretty easy for them to do.
Because aggressive, able to zip Injury back over if the fight requires it. Again, beginning to put a nice sum of money in his bank, 4.3k. One of his slots. Ultrarine has been complete by RTZ, so the deep push is certainly going to get a little bit easier because he can spam out even more on his waves.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart. Radiant's mid tower in trouble.
Jumps in, the burst onto the puppy. Press it to drop. Cold embrace, Joey still alive. Heavy trying to get the damage in, but it's not enough to save from LLY. Allowing Xiao Wei to stand right in front of the side of Secret and get himself the hell out.
Oh my god. Cold Embrace and the Rumble together saving Xiao Wei. They're even going to use the exit boost to bring him back. Maximum efficiency here. That was so clutch. And again, showcasing why it's so good against CCP. They're just mostly physical damage. So as soon as the burst is thrown out, you get the Cold Embrace, you just can't die.
At this point, of course, LGD taking it to now exposed. Bobby picks up a hood, trying to help with the burst that LGD do have when they jump in. We are getting to the point where it's pretty much less than a minute left on that Aegis. You see how much more LGD are able to achieve. We really are seeing the amount of illusions being sent out with these masters, the disruption illusions. Secret can safely push these lanes back out.
Deceptive rune of invisibility.
Can jump past that deep push and get themselves stuck into a fight inside Secret's base. Aggressive, the invis room. See if he can get a catch on anyone on the side of Secret that comes out, but at the moment, you're not going to fall for it. Not easy. Putting himself well and truly up on the high ground. LGD. The time to push it again. I mean, how much of an issue is this for LGD that they're unable to take the racks to this stage? Are you feeling worried if you're LGD, or you play around? Do you know that there's going to be a point where Secret has to leave the base and then you feel that you've got the superior fight to take them down? How do you kick off a high ground push now?
I think you're looking, oh okay, there's a Daedalus. I was going to say, you're looking for the Daedalus to be complete. That just boosts the damage output a tremendous amount.
Be ensnared in fire.
Take
illusions as well. That's going to allow a lot more time for LGD to actually hit these things. Whereas right now, you can see they're still kind of struggling a little bit to take down the illusions of the Alchemist and the Fairblade. I mean, you do have to leave the base at some point to win the game if you're Secret, so even if LGD stays 30 minutes and just keep doing this, at the very least, they kill that.
Battle Fury!
They've lost Puppy and he's supposed to be BKB.
Oh man,
No!
Getting forced out, they kill each other. But the follow coming, is it there? It doesn't look like an aggressive premise. They've lost the jump. Secret only losing Puppy in return, so
Haste.
big fight. Good plays there from MB, keeping LGD away from sticking around for more, securing the team fight win for the side of Secret, and a successful defense of that as well.
The Cold Embrace actually ended up backfiring a bit there because maybe got all his mana burned by the Necro Book while he was inside of the Cold Embrace, so as soon as it ended, he couldn't Omni Slash, he couldn't spin, no Fusion Form, no nothing. He was just a juggernaut with no abilities to use, and unfortunately for him, the physical damage output in Secret was a bit too much for him to handle. Very nice defense there from Team Secret.
Off with you!
We'll take that!
Now we'll stop the advance. Aggressive! Oh, chunks! Oh, a couple of crits to remove the action from the game. And as we're seeing now, at this point, you cannot mess with Aggressive and his flaming swords.
It's only going to get worse too. He's going to get another damage item, whether it be MKB or maybe a second Daedalus. He really, really needs that illusion clearing for his team.
Secret, obviously now at this point with LGD backing off the pressure, giving Secret the security to feel that they can come out, try and get a little bit more done outside on the map. LTZ heading towards the top, 0.6k. I mean, how can we expect to see this build from the Alchemist continue now? I mean, are we going to get into territory where Aghanim's for any certain hero is going to be pretty big if RTZ is able to give it to the team?
I mean, the Aghanims for Secret's team are pretty good. I mean, the Shadow Demon Aghanims is pretty good for the 3 chargers and the break. And then you also have the Venge one as well, so you can get like the defensive Vengeance Aura, which takes away damage, and the bonus Vengeance Aura at the same time. That one's also kind of good. There's not like, in my opinion, any game-breaking Aghanims on their team per se. I guess you're like disabling Jug's crit, the Shadow Demon Aghs. It's not really like super crazy or anything. It still helps, you know, it gives you stats, gives you a little bit more utility.
Diffusal picked up as well, Franvik. Similar in the sense, as you said, obviously before the Necro Book's burning the mana, now you've got to worry about Envy burning it as well if you're Cold Embrace. So you're still going to have to play a little bit more careful around the way that MMY looks to save his teammates. Secret ready to come out on the map with the smoke. Roshan is going to be back up in about less than a minute. Secret knowing that this is the time to hit hard at LGD, find a pick off so they can assert some sort of dominance around this timing and area of the map. As Roshi starts with easy, chasing aggressive off to the side. MB wants the BKB. LGD will have to back off. Won't quite get a kill. As we're seeing Secret now managing to build up the courage to get the jump in himself.
They can't fight this anymore though. They just used everything and they didn't get the kill on the Juggernaut. He's already pretty much back up to full health, full mana.
The Dire best do something about that bottom tower. Them Dire buildings are tough nails for now.
Straight past, clearing out the wave, allowing the space for MB to take this tier 1. Got a DD, gotta be careful.
Dire's bottom tower got blown to bits.
Is it gonna be enough to allow to get out? Puppy again with the swan. Can't get off easy out of it. But maybe Fusion with the only stats. A lot of illusions.
6 in a row.
He's down. MB's already dropped as well. They've lost the gem. LGD. Running perfectly. RTZ. I'm feeling he's gonna be chased a little bit. You see LGD looking for him aggressive. Trying to catch out Artur. RTZ at the moment is obviously pulling LGD away from any objectives between. So LGD they'll ignore him for now. And they'll just make sure that they're able to keep some pressure on the mid lane after finding these 2 kills and avoid wasting any further time.
That had to have been like the best Omni Slash ever. He bounced all the way through the creep wave back to Envy and then he did the trick immediately after it ends to prevent getting sundered like that.
Radiant's toughened up their structures.
Holding Secret on in this game. 6 will have Envy back up. RTZ taking a lot of physical damage from aggressive. The strongholds automatically together. RTZ another concoction. And one to bother. Looks to just hold Secret back. LGD not falling for this one. Getting himself incredibly low. Has to get himself back to base. This one for Puppy.
We die! We admit no defeat.
Maybe there'll be a buyback from Xiao.
Captured in the flame.
Back into the fight here. Guessing that maybe they can use this point to go for some sort of power play against Secret, especially with Roshan back on the map as well. This is a very tense point of the game, and LGD with Xiao 8 back in with that buyback. Gonna head straight to the pit.
An easy shot.
Secret. See if they have a chance or even time to get over here, because LGD is gonna take this one incredibly fast. And him now coming out from RCZ.
Yeah, he's got the first.
Look like they're gonna get here in time though. LGD. He's down Roach.
Roach is tough, but the guy is tougher still.
Again by maybe. Easy.
That.
The concoction.
Battle Fury!
Swap, but maybe
Regeneration!
Hero stuff, maybe.
Work to him and swap me.
Again. He's doing his best to save his team, but this isn't gonna save that for sure.
Shave. Somebody's on a roll to the Dire's bottom tower.
Maybe with a double kill. And Secret at this moment, I don't know if it's out of frustration, but choosing to take fights in situations where there's a high chance it's going to go wrong, Andy.
I think they're just running out of options. They feel like they need to do something. They've just been playing a very passive game, letting LGD pretty much do whatever they want. We'll get a chance to watch this again. They're just showcasing the amount of damage that Aggressive does in these fights. He's going to get a slight fist off after the BKB of Envy.
Radiant's Rags taking some punishment.
It's just painful. The Omni Slash, Slight Fist, and even Highlight Die couldn't get the disruption out of time.
He's still been unable to take the mid-racks. Let's see that change now though, maybe.
Radiant's mid-rags.
He could have the full 5 mana if they got anything.
There goes the Radiant's mid-rags.
Slide. Coming around, they need some sort of catch. Can't quite find the opening, they can't stop LGD. So LGD find the objective in the mid lane. Don't pay a price for it at all, and they'll get themselves straight in position to look for a repeat performance on the top lane as things are starting to look very, very sketchy indeed for Secret.
Maybe is just able to walk up, he's got that butterfly, the Aegis. He can just hit the tower, when he goes back, he can get the cold embrace, he can heal back up again, they have healing ward on top of that. And Aggressive, sitting on 4,000 gold, so he's getting close to another item, he's going to sell those drums soon.
GD. Very much ready to go in again. Secret them ready for defense. They're trying to get down the wall approach. Smoke them. Just actually going to go for the straight line move. LGD, they just move in. Secret, they're going to get themselves out. Envy's got to be careful in case he gets thrown out by these swords. I'll be backing up, Envy. Keeps himself alive, easy moving in straight onto LGD, forcing them back out of the base. He's stunned up by Poppy. They're both coming forward, and Secret, again, somehow not losing anyone there. Envy, very lucky to get away with his life there.
I think he's trying to give people heart attacks, honestly. There's so many Lincolns actually on LGD right now. I guess 2 is so many. Still.
Towards aggressive and can't quite get it off.
Radiant's top tower's hurting.
LGD, amount of damage down as the clear 3 in Secret. They're not stopping it yet. LGD just weaving perfectly in and out of the base of Secret, rendering them unable to do anything to punish this kind of play. Still, it's just a case of getting the illusions out from Secret. Trying to draw LGD's attention away from the 5 mana stop. They did anything to stop it. They just wait for his moves to.
One last top tower.
They have killed one. They managed to take the Aegis out of the hands of maybe. He's flying around the moonlight shadow.
That's 4 in a row. Battle's still steep.
The four of them could pull out a miracle. Aggressive.
The first flying at Radiant's top half. No breaking down the Radiant structure.
Still 1 minute without kill on Arkeezy, falling on himself, matching the ball, maybe the jug is down. Poppy stepping up when it needed the most. They'll find the kill onto the Juggernaut. And with those plays, Secret again somehow keeping themselves in this match.
It was much more costly
Gold
investment
from
for
my
LGD at the end of the
chest.
day, even considering Envy's dieback. He lost quite a bit there, but obviously maintaining the racks is the bigger win here for Secret. It's a very... I mean, LGD want to go in because you can watch what happens to Envy here. The curse, it's every single person on Secret just beating into him. That was a 5-man curse. Extremely good placement there. And then as soon as the buyback comes out, they're like, okay, whatever, no BKB, no meta. But Envy just trying to walk in because he wants to take the fight to make use of the buyback, but they just instantly kill him. There's no save at all. At the end of the day, Secret maintain their top set of racks. They still have a lot to go if they want to make a comeback here.
I mean, just little things like, you look at the fact that...
Illusion!
December, he's on par with Arteezy's Alchemist.
That's not a good thing.
That is not that is,
If you're Secret, you want your
I figure out this formula for
the next
ages.
highest person in the game, more or less. But the problem is, it's a 50-minute game. And obviously, in the laning phase, Arteezy was fairly pressured. Not the easiest game for him anymore. I think the last thing that he can start to do, besides replace his armlet with another item, is just start to buy Aghanims for people, and he's already obviously gotten one for Pi. I'm just not sure if the Aghanims are really going to mean that much. It's not really the best team for the Aghanims.
LGD after that situation up top. No, we're just going to focus on still finishing up even more items, maybe. Salt Cuirass is done. And that in itself is just going to add so much to this high ground push from LGD. Make it even harder for Secret to beat back into them, even with the high base physical damage from MV's Terrorblade.
Honestly, I think that more than anything, one of the heroes on Secret needs MKB for maybe, because now that he has like AC and Butterfly, it's going to become so hard to kill him with just physical damage. Again, we talk about itemization and how easy it is to itemize against a team. I feel like LGD, all you really need is armor. You have armor, the Terrorblade and the Alchemist both do significantly less for you in these fights. In that sense, maybe his itemization and just overall play this game has been phenomenal. I mean, yeah, you can attribute a lot of his kills to the early runes and whatnot, but it's just LGD being able to control the runes better than Secret did this game. And it put them in such a huge advantage, just taking away the map control, the aggressive warding that LGD had the entire game. Getting so many picks. Just imagine if Secret hadn't had such an abysmal laning phase. The lineup had a much different feeling.
Absolutely, because in terms of the fights, as you said, considering how much more that LGD have, it's impressive in the sense for Secret that they are able to achieve what they have been. You know, being able to take down some of the members of LGD. LGD moving across. So for them to find the latch on to Envy. Secret backing up.
5 in a row. Somebody iced the Dyer's Courier.
Available. The Beastmaster, but LGD find a pick. But we can see that again, because of the pressure of the lanes, they've got to back right up before they can get this mid lane pushed in. Usually being put on by their illusion-based lineup. And obviously worth noting as well, Aghanims was given to Puppey, so we've got Ags on the Venge now for the next defense.
Yeah, the two best people to get Aghanims for in the team, easily. And plus, you know, Terrorblade doesn't actually have an Aghanim, so no real use in giving it to them.
Let's see if they, get him. He will use the death. Fighting from death, Puppey.
Radiant's mid tower can use a hand.
Was that one mine?
They are defending! I don't know how they're quite doing it, Andy, but they're able to hold their own against a team that's got so far behind. And LGD at this point, they're starting to struggle.
I feel like if the Ember doesn't get a crit during a slight assist, the fights actually, there's so much damage output on Secret that if they get a good target swap after the Cold Embrace, they just blow them up. Parablade annihilates them in seconds with the Inner Beastor and whatnot. Obviously, Sam died during that fight because of the Winter's Curse. Truth be told, that curse was okay, but you really want to hit at least one of the cores with it if you can to make sure that you have that hero not hitting during that point, because that curse was meant to save Xiao Wei, and it didn't save him. And then he dies, and then after that point, LGD are already on the back foot. So, again, brilliant defense here from Secret. They're going to go for a quick smoke play. Roshan is up.
Getting Roshan for Secret will be absolutely huge at this stage. A stage of the game where LGD have been able to take it.
We'll take that.
Still 3 members of LGD down, so Secret to move straight into the pit. And let's see if they get away with this already. Illusions inbound, so LGD will be aware of what's going on. Secret. Okay, they're spooked. They're spooked. They see the illusions, they back out. They don't want to commit to a Secret. Here we go. And the question is, do they want to try and fight LGD themselves? As we've seen, they can take it down a fair bit.
I think they would probably just let LGD get it again. I mean, they've defended against multiple Aegis pushes so far, right? It's actually getting to a point in the game where the Ember Spirit is pretty much not going to hit him.
They're not going to make a move for this. They've got to accept the note.
Old Rose won't be coming back.
To Roshan, Aegis took by Xiao Wei. Cheese is still on the ground. Looks like they don't want the cheese.
Maybe they're not hungry.
Lactose intolerant.
Yep. Alright, looks like, yeah, MO1's going back for it.
Yeah,
I think the curse becomes really important at this stage of the game for him. You know, saying that it only killed the Beastmaster in the last fight and didn't disable any of the cores, that's a really big thing. Because look at the way that the fight worked out when he got like a 5-man curse and just blows up a Terrorblade, his whole team kills him. It's a really big deal for MMY to get the proper positioning and the curse placement. But he's been playing very well. His Cold Embrace has more or less been on point.
Fighting both parts, CZ and MV do have buyback at the ready, which may be needed. But with LGD going as hard as they were before, to assist, definitely relying on some of these key buybacks to hold the fort and hold back LGD's advances. Again, as we can see, top lane is being shoved out fairly hard. Aggressive as the TP
The Swift, the spoils.
to deal with that. Already, as soon as the attention's drawn away from mid, that's easy. And MV are there with the illusions, pushing the lane back out. Because he's constantly just picking up as much as they can from the map, even with regards to the amount of pressure LGD's heroes themselves are putting on Secret. So much money on aggressive, 8.6k in the back. This is an incredibly rich hemisphere. LGD, and the eyes on Arteezy. He's out. Again, a bit of deja vu. We've seen LGD. They weren't able to do it last time. To do it now with Aegis and Cheese at the ready.
Still a very hard high ground to crack. I'm kind of wondering if there's some point where Aggressive decides to go for a raid. I feel like the team still is lacking damage a little bit against the cores of Secret because they have double save, right? They have the swap and they have it's difficult for them to just flat out get a kill when they're going high ground unless the curse on MMY lands.
Again, in and out, LGD on this top lane.
Behold my searing gaze. Countered in the flame.
Somebody's
cooking 7 in a row. You have been schooled.
The dead is planted by Puppy, unable to help out a second time. It's a 1-for-1 trade, Secret. Don't find anything else there. Next large setup onto Arteezy. Xiao Wei very low at the moment, has to blink away. Again, LGD unable to get the racks and just taking a 1-for-1 trade, which he just feels at this stage of the game is not good enough for LGD. They need more.
This is what happens when you have too many melee heroes on the same team. LGD don't have very good siege, so pretty much have to take a fight in order to hit buildings at this point. And since you have Chemical Rage and a super farmed Alchemist now with the Mjolnir as well, he can just be the front line, he kills the creep wave, and because you deal a little bit of damage, he can still heal it up with the Chemical Rage and doesn't need other forms of sustain to actually be able to defend his own base. So it's working out pretty well for the time being. LGD, they're not getting impatient though, they're not going for any crazy plays where they base dive and such to try to end the game. They're just playing it safe. They say, look, you only really have 2 heroes on your team that are getting farmed. We are potentially farming 3 at the same time. So we're still going to continually get a little bit farther ahead, even though at this point it's kind of an incremental game because so many of the cores are close to 6 slotted, if not already. It'll just be down to a secret making mistake.
And it's easy, runs into the fight, MB already. Schmaltz is in. This stalemate between the 2 sides. Secret of how does it get to the point where they have an answer to every time that LGD try and look for a jump in.
Then
Now we might have been want to try and use this to get positioning. He's gonna have no president. He's man up against RTV. For the rack. Again, jumps back. I still need to get Lisa down. As we can see, it feels like this could go on for a while, Andy. It's constant back and forth on the top lane.
I mean, it's a super stressful situation for both teams. You know, if LGD mess up the push, you can get a lot of
The Radiant's top rags is gone
to finish off the
now.
range tracks now. At this point, of course, that is at least the Secret's warrior.
Yeah, rain tracks honestly means nothing.
And more money racking up on RTs and you can think about getting more acts. He's got the courier out on the sidelines. He's trying to get it over. But it's obviously very risky for him to do so with the full side of LGD in the area.
Yeah, they even have a ward as well, so if he sent the courier back the wrong way, it would probably just he's gonna have to send it like back through the tree and then go back to the tree line and then back to base.
It's actually picking himself a moonshot as well as the point booster ready for the next axe. And as you said, you've got to be careful with the trip that this courier makes back. Was out of range of that.
He was skirting it around the ward vision, so they had some kind of idea that there would be some vision. Very nice courier movement. I guess at this point you just get the Aghanim Police Master.
Just a reflection as well from him. There's an issue for LGD.
allies
Able to finish off Jiawei, gets himself back to stage 2. For
That's 4 in a row.
But good.
And take the 2! They're looking for the line and they're not going yet! Secret on the defensive! They are doing it again! They'll take
2 down.
double kill for SB! They're holding the base! 62 minutes in! Secret, a team that look to be on the absolute back foot against LGD, and they're consistently holding them off and coming out on top of these fights.
I mean, the Alchemist has so much
invisibility,
he takes so much damage. LGD try to go in, but maybe he's just completely isolated at this point because of the fact that they already had their other form back out. He's just in there all alone. Regardless at this point, if you have a cold embrace, it's not going to save it. The rest of the team can't back you up. LGD overextending, getting punished very hard for it.
we'll take that.
But what a game we've got on our hands here in the lower bracket. First round, best of 1. I think people obviously expected this one to be a tight one, but to go down like this as well. As I said, with a start where it really looked like Secret were playing like group stage Secret. It wasn't quite there, but now everything's starting to come together for them on the main stage. And they're slowing down the pushes of a team that seem to have built up an unstoppable force, but somehow Secret, as a group, are able to hold them back.
And now LGD,
Dire's bottom
they've got to be
tower's
very
getting the
careful about these
business.
advances that they look to take, because you lose a fair few more, and Secret are suddenly, they're going to be in a position to power down a lane, and with the pushing power of a Terrorblade, they get close to your base, they're ripping it to pieces.
Not only the Terrorblade, but just the power of the Shadow Demon illusions to this stage in the game, when both your cores that you want to be disrupting have 6 slots. This is getting increasingly stressful for LGD. Like, they were in such a dominant position so long ago, and sure, they might be able to still push the lanes out again because they have that Ember Spirit, they have the Marauder Tags, and the Battle Fury on maybe as well. Juggernaut is just kind of topped out. He's not really doing much more than, you know, he can at this point. He's going in, like, trying to throw out an Omni or whatever, get a couple of hits on the racks, and at that point, he's just not dead. He's not much more than an ult and a healing ward at this point.
As we see Secret, obviously with the way they're very
Out of my way!
feeling a bit more confident in coming out. Do have buybacks up on everyone apart from Puppy as well, so they have that bit of a fallback as well to come out and look for these movements, look for these plays. LGD themselves, now in the neighborhood, the Shadow. We'll see how much you want to use this to kick it off. And even just with the mighty amount of illusions the Secret have out, it just makes it so hard and confusing for LGD to fight into and fight around. And constantly having to be aware of Secret just putting on the pressure elsewhere. As Secret looks to back up, pushing out the top lane. Just that back pulling out the mid, and keeping the bottom away from that last set of untouched racks on the bottom. Still, of course, with the melee racks alive up top. Another racks out from Artur.
Yeah, that one's for him.
Okay.
That's a gift for Artur.
Got to get them stats.
Yeah, he gave it to the other 3 heroes who actually had to get upgrades already. So the last one's just
Get it eventually.
I think it's actually better to give it to Envy first than taking it well. That's very small.
The prize is
At the
mine!
same time, RTZ has been the one to tank. You know, he goes forward.
Yeah, he is
first.
the one who's in front.
Yeah, he's the punching man. So many extra the extra HP it's gonna go a little way. Roshan.
Son of
the next
a...
fallback for the side of LGD once again. It's gonna be up any second now. Secret. Before we've seen them unable to really fully engage the fight around the Roche pit. They may feel now in a bit of a stronger position to do so.
Yeah, I think they actually want to contest this one. Their movement
They can take a
well.
fight out of that.
In the flame.
That's 4 in a row.
Not a falling low, and they'll take it. As the Kuka down, can they process anything else out of this one? As brings it out alive. He's got it out, heading into the pit.
How about that?
Right down deeper. They find themselves a second. Aggressive still playing out, but he's got to be careful. Stays down by the illusions. RTZ keeps them alive. Clears them out with the Shiva's guard. Aggressive. On he goes. Still running away from Pi.
They gotta be worried about top lane.
Got a sense coming back indeed. Xiao is putting the pressure on. They'll send Envy back for this. The rest of the team sticking around to look to take Roshan. Pi's going to come up as well. Be incredible. They've got to be careful. They've got to be careful here, Secret. They need backup. How quickly they do that is the question. So, he's got to watch himself. He's got to watch himself. The man team might be fine as he's very close to Fountain. Most of this will still towards the direction. Managed to do it. Create the... Maybe they can punch in the mid. The Magnum is not available. Spot maybe back. Xiao is coming as well. Get the arrow from RTZ. RTZ needs help. He's coming down. What's up, Xiao? He needs help. There's coming in the form of a second. The question's there. Charging it up. Because an RTZ. Looking to come in the sword from another.
5 in a row. Well done.
It was not well.
Still coming out on top.
That's one way to work out the impurities.
RTZ getting himself back in the game. The other 3 heroes down at the moment do have buyback available. We'll see if they hold on to it. But this push is going to come in. So Secret obviously do get the road to the use the Aegis to lose the fight. And indeed, aggressive fight back. He's going to see this as the window to end the game. Heading for the bottom.
Radiant's bottom tower's seen better days. Radiant structures must have been fortified. trouble throwing at Radiant's bottom tower. Radiant's bottom tower's done for.
Reflection looking towards Xiaowei, RTZ. That will force LGD back, but buybacks being used left, right, and center.
There we go. There's the rapier.
Rapier time, boys and girls. Woo! 68 minutes in this game. Secret LGD is heating up.
And that fight in the river was so unfortunate. He didn't pop the BKB on Envy.
Saving it for TR7. Xiaowei. Teasing with a mid. See how Secret deal with a punch to aggressive. It's easy again. Put up on the chain. Forward ball. Xiaowei. Can't call it break. For the Aussie, it's been Lotus up there on each other, and maybe now they've overextended. Baby!
Juggernaut!
He's down! No buyback available for the Terrorblade. Secret with only 4 men left. They need some huge. Picking up a production, looking for Banana. Again, the gold is racing from NFY. Making sure the fight for
Somebody's cooking. That's 4 roll. 2 down.
They should have run while they had their chance. Allies disappeared.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart. Radiant's mid tower ain't doing so good. Radiant's bottom failing again.
9 minutes in, are able to seal the deal. What a match!
That was an unbelievable defense from Seeker, and you got to give him props for as far behind as they were in that game to make that good of a hold for that long. It's just unfortunate that this was a best-of-1 lower bracket game, because I think the fans would want to see more from both these teams.
Absolutely. LGD, Xiaowei and the boys, the director, he says to Secret...